And we are live. Thank you very much, everyone, for tuning in to the inaugural Silicon Challenge. First off is the one and only PC Centric. Here he comes. Hello. Look at this, a very customed walk. He takes his position on left of the stage. The one and only Marcus Cole. He is a PC gaming and tech YouTuber, if by somehow you haven't yet heard of him. How you going, Marcus?
I'm doing very well. How are you doing?
I'm not too bad. I'm glad we started. I'm kind of in a bit of a rhythm now.
Fantastic to be live, actually, isn't it?
It is. I mean, live's a funny thing, but it's good. We're great. So you're going to be competing against a couple of other prominent tech and gaming names today to see how your kind of PC-based muscle stacks up and compares.
Yeah, well, this is very much the day job for me. I'm feeling confident, but the best laid plans of mice and men, I believe, is the phrase, right?
Not a phrase I'm familiar with, but I think you've kind of set out your stall there. I think you are probably odds-on favourite to win today, and I think if you don't, it could be a bit embarrassing.
It could be. Maybe I'll just delete the channel.
Maybe that's the forfeit if Marcus doesn't win. I don't think we'll be committing too hard to that. The second contestant today, the self-proclaimed underdog, introducing Sai, aka Cyanide. Come on, centre stage, buddy. How's it going? How are you feeling, Sai?
Yeah, not too bad. Was almost certainly not Googling how to build a PC backstage earlier. Definitely wasn't on the WikiHow article, that's for sure.
So while these guys were enjoying a really nice kind of paid-for lunch, you were sitting there kind of Googling how to build a PC.
Yeah, it wasn't very helpful. I should have put your video on. Maybe that would have been a little bit better, but...
Well, maybe not. I mean, you know, so how do you kind of... I think we kind of answered this question, but how do you fancy your chances today? As the underdog, could you come through and throw everybody off a little bit?
The last time I built a PC, it took 6 hours. So if we're going to broadcast for about 6 hours, then I think I have a good shot. But otherwise...
Disclaimer for the audience here, this show is not going on for 6 hours. I am firmly at home in 6 hours' time. Now, next up, we've got Marcus, we've got Sai, and that leaves only one more contestant. Introducing M, aka Mr. RGB, aka TechBlock, coming in the right-hand side of the stage. Look at that, he's got his own merch on. He looks organised as absolute how. How's it going, M?
It's going good, man. How are you?
I'm not too bad. How do you fancy your chances against these two?
I've built a couple of PCs in my time. Hopefully, we're going to build this one real quick.
This is it.
Tons of RGB.
This is it, in terms of RGB. The guy is alluding to something we're going to cover later. M is the self-proclaimed king of RGB, which I know viewers of my channel are going to absolutely love. Now then, I think it's probably time to reintroduce F-Word into the fold and kind of run through what the challenge is today.
Well, that's my curiosity right now, James. This is something I've never seen before. How exactly is this working? How are these guys going to execute? Talk to me.
This is it. So as part of today's stream, powered by NVIDIA and their RTX graphics cards from our partner, Zotac, these guys are going to battle it off in a PC build speed building competition with a twist. They've got to install every single component other than our graphics card today. The finest system, the first to finish, gets to install the 3080, the second place gets the 3070, and the third place, the 3060 Ti. But it's not quite that simple. After they've installed the graphics card, the system still has to post. So that's going to be a little bit interesting later on.
Okay, so it's not just speed. Quality is important too, right?
Quality is key. And
it's got to work, essentially.
This is it. We could have a moment later on whereby Marcus thinks he's stormed into the lead, and actually it's a bit of a false win. We are, of course, also going to throw a few twists in there along the way to keep it interesting for those watching at home. Yeah, we can't go too much into those at the moment. I'm keeping pretty tight-lipped about those ones. And without any further ado, I think we do this in sync.
Let's do it.
You may now pick up your screwdrivers in 3, 2, 1, go! We've got a...
Screwdriver.
We've got a question already from the one and only PC Centric.
We're missing a screwdriver.
We're missing a screwdriver.
I know it'd be sportsmanship to stop at this point, but I need all the benefit I can get.
This is it. Look,
this is the handicap. This is the handicap. Hold on, he hit the screwdriver. I saw him while upstairs.
I'm gonna come out
Suddenly
and say
it all makes sense.
Not hide the screwdriver before I get.
All right.
You know.
Okay.
This is interesting. Marcus is straight in with the case today, which is the Cooler Master Masterbox MB520. Now this has got a few RGB fans at the front, and that's going to look really nice. And the ARGB means we've got addressable RGB fans. So Mr. RGB is going to like that one over there.
I'll tell you what, I'm really interested to understand like the process here, because it seems like there's levels to this, obviously, James. You've got everyone talking about Marcus being the dominant one.
They didn't give me any scissors.
They didn't give you scissors?
I didn't get scissors either.
See, this is not actually how I expected this to pan out. We've got M on the side. He's just getting on. He's not moaning. And I think Have you got a nice surprise in your motherboard?
I do.
What have you got?
I've got an Intel CPU and it's already installed.
CPU is already installed.
already.
This is
this has happened.
Listen, for the noobs in the stream, please, James,
Yeah.
what does that do to this competition?
So that is going to save a few seconds. I mean, I'm not a guy who gets distracted easily, which is probably a lie, but Marcus is already doing the case. I'm kind of mind blown really there. That's really bizarre.
Is it?
He's not
It
messing
is.
around.
I wasn't expecting that. He's
You got to get your equipment ready.
You want to know the best part? This is completely contrary to all the advice he gave me backstage. He told me, Sai, go do the processor and the motherboard first. And I was like, oh, thank you so much for your helpful advice.
So those of you guys at home who didn't realize, when you're competing against someone, maybe not the best person to ask for advice just before you play that match. Yeah?
Although I think probably no disrespect to Sai, I think he was probably in a bit of a pickle either way.
Yeah, you could say that again.
I have to ask, from your perspective, James, like I said, there's levels here.
Yeah.
How can a person who's not really into PC building kind of get into something like this?
Well, I think from the outside, if you've not built a PC before, I know this is some of the audiences today. This is such fun to watch. This is going to be a bit of a mind-blowing experience, right? But these guys out the door, they seem to all be pretty on it. Considering Sai hasn't built a PC in a few years, and the last time he did it took him 6 hours.
Wow.
I'm pretty shocked here. This is interesting.
Emma,
Yeah,
have you
I
actually
told
got
you
your
you're sandbagging.
screwdriver yet?
I still
no.
suspect he's sandbagging.
I'm not sure if I need it.
I think
Em doesn't need his screwdriver.
Oh, okay.
That is a bold statement from the offset.
He doesn't have his. He's only got the small one. He doesn't have a big one.
It's not about the size, it's how you use it. Come on, Marcus, you know this better than anybody.
I'm trying to help him out.
Listen, we know M's got some pretty specific equipment that you want to highlight, James. What's he
Okay,
got there?
We're stuck already.
What have you got over there, Em? Yeah,
We have an RGB M.2 drive right here.
Can we see it? What does it look like, Em?
Ooh, there you are.
Boom. So this is from
Boom.
A-Data. This is their
There you
S40G, and this
Half a
lights
terabyte.
up. Wow.
And blazing fast speed, fast game load times. It's brilliant.
Boom, this guy knows NVMe is a game changer. And of course, with the new NVIDIA graphics cards, they're so good, they're so quick that storage is actually a bottleneck nowadays.
Yep.
So before, where you could just run a game off a hard drive.
Screwdriver, James.
Oh, look at
Oh,
this.
there you
I'm
go.
gonna have to
There you go.
hand deliver M. Look at this.
Oh, did you see
Thank
that?
you.
Sai just punched the
Saviour.
table. He was really upset about that. It was him that hit the screwdriver. It must have been.
Sorry, where was that screwdriver, mate?
Not a
Talk to
clue.
us.
Couldn't tell you. You definitely didn't find it under
Right.
the dining table.
And I don't know if we've noticed here, the RTX 3080 Mox might be in the way, but Sai is actually already referring to the manual.
Okay.
That's,
That's not a good sign, is it?
that's not a good sign at this stage
I'm no
of the
expert,
game.
but that's definitely not a good sign, I'd
This
say.
does not look like the same thing. This is not the same thing. This is nonsense.
I'm just predicting that we're going to have some people on front panel cables and Sai's just going to be like, so the CPU?
it's-
I mean, how do you install this?
This has got to be missing something. That's not. What the?
Talk us through it, Sai. Let's
you
give you a helping hand.
Hasn't it got? I'm worried about the latch at the minute for the CPU. That
So,
doesn't look
Sai,
right.
that's fine.
I'm gonna help you out, Sai. I'm gonna give you a kind of a lifeline. I mean, we're only 4 minutes and 14, as you guys at home can see on the timer in.
Yeah.
But the latch on that CPU socket just lifts nicely up. Is it up?
Yeah, it's up.
It is. Have you got your CPU out yet?
Yeah, it's right here.
Right. So can you find the triangle, the gold triangle on the bottom of your CPU? Flip it around for me. There we go. You see the little gold triangle in the corner?
Yeah.
Do you see the plastic triangle on your motherboard?
Yeah.
You've got to line those two up, drop it in place, and pop the arm back down. That is all I am
Wait,
possibly going to
there's
tell
no
you.
latchy thing that goes on top of it?
No, it's a zero insertion force socket.
This is my 3-year-old knowledge
Okay,
coming
there you
into
go.
play right
The
here.
A lot
game has
changed.
changed.
This is how we used to do it back in the day.
So we've had an update from our community corner host, and your audience isn't very confident in your abilities. How
Yeah,
does that make you feel?
You know what? That sounds like them. That's
Ouch.
just the 6-hour stream I did last time was just full of abuse. So, I expect much the same today.
So let's have a check, guys. Em, can you raise your motherboard for me, buddy? Let's have a look what we've all got going on.
No, not like that.
All right.
So
The RAM is installed.
So the RAM's
also from
installed?
XPG.
The text Ryzen. should
Wow, look at
face-
that. He's looking good already. He's gone for the
turn it
bottom
around,
M.2
wait.
See there,
slot.
like
Yes.
it's not facing.
These two
down.
are whittering away.
face
Marcus
that way.
is turned into the coach today.
Cool, so
that
like
is
that,
not a
like
role I
exactly
was
like
This is
prepared.
I
a
believe
really
so.
interesting turn of events here. I'm seeing Marcus step away from his setup to assist Cyanide on multiple occasions. It's not the guy that he said he was going to be today, is it?
So could this open up the door for M to storm through the middle?
M has not offered a single helping hand to Cyanide. He's here to win, James. Not wasting any time. He's just getting straight on with it.
This is tense. Look at M. I've never seen a man unbox a case so fast.
I told you, man. Silent but deadly, man. This guy stayed quiet, but here he is, potentially steaming into the lead here.
I am just completely...
Can I also point it out as well?
Go
You
on.
haven't given me any M.2 screws, so the M.2 is going to have to float.
I do have a spare one right here.
Hold on a second. Wait. Hold on a second, guys. I wanted some competitive edge here, guys. Like, what's going on? This is unbelievable. They're all helping each other out, James.
But maybe this is to win goodwill of audience, right? Maybe this is to kind of get those audiences at home to be rooting for someone they wouldn't normally support. But I am shocked. I thought Marcus was going to storm into the lead and go solo, but fair play. The boy from the southeast is appears to be helping the rest of the group.
Reckon Kent, Garden of England.
Kent. Big up Maidstone, wherever you're from. Who knows at this point?
Maidstone?
So in terms of the components, we touched on it a little bit briefly earlier on, but basically the fastest system has that chance to grip onto that all-important 3080. All of these cards are going to be really great for 1440p and even a bit of 4K gaming, but I've got to say, from my experiences, the 3080 is what's going to give you the edge. I can see we've got a nice top-down shot going on. I don't know whose system that actually is of. On the left, we've got Marcus's top-down shot. I think he needs to pick the pace up here.
I'm too busy helping my competition.
So maybe he's lining up the excuses for when he doesn't quite win later on.
Potentially.
I'm not taking the blame if you lose.
He's not saying no to the help
Could you
either.
do us a favour at home? Oh, you beat me to it. Can you lay the PC down just so we can actually see what you got going on?
Yeah, sure thing.
So he's got the motherboard going in already. You're not installing the CPU.
Listen, at what time frame was you expecting that to happen? I know this is not a common thing, James, but how ahead of the market is this guy right now with his speed if he's already got the motherboard going in?
This is, I mean, Em, how are we looking? How are you feeling? Now Marcus has got that motherboard going in. Are you confident? He's took it out. Marcus has taken that motherboard out.
I've been given a smaller motherboard, so I've got to move around some standoffs first. Extra step.
Do you know what this sounds like? Sounds like complaining to me.
I wouldn't say it's complaining. I'd say it's realism.
Realism. How are you feeling, Em? Em's got the power supply going. That's interesting.
I've got the power supply out.
What's your rationale behind that?
I'm gonna pop this one in, and then the motherboard, then the CPU liquid cooler.
These guys are flying. Cyanide's not even taking the B&Q wrapping off his screwdriver. Cyanide, can you put that in the air? Let's see that screwdriver, mate. He's still got the paper right.
It's a waste of time to do it.
You could scan a barcode off that one, mate.
This is called efficient usage of time.
That is obscene. We're 10 minutes in already to the show today. 10 minutes to the build challenge.
Unbelievable.
They've had to listen to you for 10 minutes.
Yeah, and thankfully only you for 20 seconds. So.
I'm surprised people are still here.
They might not be. We don't know. We're down here. We're going to have to tune in with Community Corner a little bit later and actually find out what's going on there. Now, I think we do want to check back up on the builds today, and then we're going to jump into a cool little segment just after. How's it going, Em? How are you feeling? You got that tempered glass side panel off?
It is finally off. Motherboard goes in next.
I think, Marcus, you already got the motherboard in, Marcus, or are you struggling with standoffs?
I have indeed, yep, I do.
Can you lift that up? Can you show us? I think we've probably got an angle on that, but let's have a peek. Oh, I'm hearing some screw. Yeah, M.2 drive is flying there.
What did I say? You haven't given me a screw.
I think M was going to lend you a screw. I think that was kind of
The second time he's offered you a screw.
I don't even have a screw loose. I just don't have a screw.
Now, that's really interesting, and that's a really good segue into our next section, F, which is kind of like Marcus struggling with his PC. I'm sure he's kind of moaning it's a bit of a faulty tower at the moment, but not nearly as faulty as some of the submissions we've had in on social over the last few weeks, where you guys have sent in your weird, wacky, and wonderful PCs for us to take a look at, pretty much take the mick out of. So the first is on the screen behind us. What do we think, contestants?
Hold on a second. What's wrong with that? That looks all right to me.
I don't know how someone's actually done that. I'm liking the graphics card at the bottom. That looks like it's got a little bit of horsepower.
Hey,
it looks like a cyanide
creativity,
system.
right? Maybe this person was trying to be a bit different, you know?
And I think
it runs well.
I think
that's your personal rig, isn't it?
Oh yeah, funny. I think Em's not going to approve of that one. We touched on this earlier on, but it's not got any green. It's not got any blue. There's just a bit of red in there. Next one, look at this one.
What's going on here?
That's not even bad. He's just taken his...
Is the CPU cooler on properly?
Yeah, that's quite a nice CPU
That looks
cooler.
all right. Isn't this supposed to be bad examples?
I think he's just taken the GPU out as a way to enter in, which we do appreciate. Thanks for sending that over, but that's by no means the faultiest of the systems today.
Yeah.
Oh, look at this one. Oh, that's not too bad actually. In the case,
Who takes a photo like that?
I think that photo was probably set up for the purpose of looking rubbish. And by the way, you guys at home, we do want to know in the Twitch chats as well. We're going to come to our lovely community corner host shortly. So let us know which you think's the worst.
It looks like the same one from a different angle there.
He's got a Spider-Man figure in there. He's got a lovely Cooler Master radiator. Look at that. RGB ramp. Whoever this is needs shooting because that is not faulty. In CSGO, that is obviously.
Wow.
Whoa, James, what's going on there?
That is.
What?
That's an Omen gaming laptop. That's not too shabby. That's got some RTX or GTX graphics inside. I think he's just put it on a stack of books really there. Oh dear. Oh, I think contestants, you might want to look at this one, guys. That is not great.
That looks like he's got a damp problem.
I'm hoping we actually vetted these images. These aren't like this looks like straight out of Google Images.
To be fair, you don't know what's in the tower. It could be like a 3090 in there.
Once again, this one, the cables are a bit ugly. It needs a bit of RGB, but apart from that looks like
it's not the worst thing I've ever seen.
Where's the graphics card?
I think most of them are not really going for looks there, are they?
So Sai's going, where's the graphics card? It is in there, it's just quite small. I mean, this one we can't actually see inside.
What?
The I/O down the side is an interesting one. I feel like I'd just spin my chair and knock all those ports.
It looks like it's been to hell and back as well, I must say, James.
It does. He's missing some vents at the top as
goodness.
well. Oh, that's all right, Em. That's your kind of system.
Of this.
I knew you'd approve of that. Look at that. He's
Damn.
got multicolored cables to match his multicolored lighting.
Is that like his own logo, or is that actually a normal CPU cooler? That looks custom to me.
No, that is stock. I've used that cooler before. That is stock. Not quite as good as the liquid cooler we've got going on today. Oh.
I was going to say, can I cheat and just put the stock cooler on?
No, you absolutely cannot. The last system then that we've got to feature on the show today. Apologies if yours didn't get that promo it deserves.
What is that?
That is not good.
What is that GPU?
That GPU looks passively cooled. That looks like there's no fan on there.
It looks like a Pentium 3.
I don't even know what Pentium 3 is.
You weren't old enough.
I wasn't born when a Pentium 3 came out. Look at that. He's got a hard drive in there as well. Nice bit of mass storage. So, yeah, not great. I think that's probably the worst so far if I had to pick. Don't know what you think.
I don't know. I feel like the second one was a bit cheap. I've got to be honest. I think some of these guys have missed the point though, because 5 or 6 of them look pretty decent to me, James.
That's it. 5 or 6 of them were actually not too bad. I think, F-word, it's kind of time to have a look again at how these guys are getting on, but also cover some of the components. We haven't really touched on that yet.
Yeah, absolutely.
And why these components are good for a gaming system, right? It's quite important.
This is the thing for me that I'm trying to understand getting around this. Now, these guys have not all got the exact same setup, have they?
No, this is it. So the case, the cooler and the power supply are the same. We've got the Cooler Master chassis we discussed a little bit earlier. We've got one of the new coolers from Cooler Master, which is a 240mm V2. Em's holding it up very nicely for us there.
Hello.
This is actually one of the best value 240mm coolers. They are, of course, a sponsor of today's show, but as far as price to performance is concerned, Em, can we have that back in the air, mate? Can we have it back in the air? I didn't quite get my fix the first time around. As far as price to performance is concerned, it is not too shabby of a cooler. Here we go, Em. Lovely.
Oi.
Now that's going to be more than enough cooling for basically any consumer CPU that's not like a stupid high-end, 30-core behemoth. And it's also going to be nice and quiet, or give you some overclocking headroom, or a little bit of both. Which is always helpful. Overclocking, give you that key edge, give you a bit more performance for your book, and a kind of a £80, $80 cooler like this is going to be perfect.
I must say, based on Ed's reaction there, he definitely approves. And he's not an easy one to impress, I've been noticing as the day.
I think the key to that, and I don't want to labour this point too much, but where's Cyanide come from? Cyanide's flown off into this there.
I lost the screw.
Cyanide lost the screw. I think the key with them there is that cooler is RGB. You can choose RGB. You can choose exactly how you want it to light up in your system and make sure it looks nice and fine. The final component we've got today from Cooler Master that I really want to talk about is the power supplies. Anyone got a power supply they haven't installed yet? Or is that a question for Si? Yeah, I thought that might be the case.
Didn't see that one coming.
No, there must be a mind reader over there because I was in the same boat. So this is an 850 watt cooler that's... Oh my goodness. I think if Si and his PC building skills aren't great, his presenting skills are hopefully a bit better.
He's making up for it, isn't he?
Exactly. So this is an 80 bliss gold unit, which means it's super efficient. It's going to provide loads of clean power for our 3080. The producer is laughing in my ear right now. This is going to be perfect, right? The new NVIDIA cards, they're not hugely power hungry. They're pretty power efficient, but they do like nice clean power. So a fully modular unit like this is going to be perfect. Absolutely.
Fantastic, brilliant. And what differentiators do we have on the far rest and here with Marcus then?
Yeah, so Marcus's system is pretty similar to the rest, except he's got a Micro ATX motherboard. And that's going to make his life a little bit difficult. I think, which is good. We like that.
What does ATX stand for, James?
Marcus, you tell me. PC guru over there. You've asked me this before, I swear.
have. Yeah, that's a good question. I'm on the spot now.
Glad he asked you, not me, James.
He hasn't got a clue. Look, he's completely kerfuffled and he has absolutely
He just tried to
no
throw
idea.
you under and he doesn't know the answer
He's trying
himself.
to throw me into a data he hasn't got. I think for
No, wait. Advanced technology, I think. Extendable.
He's just made the
Extendable starts with E.
No, I know that bit's right. I know, but that is the X.
I think, F-word, we need to kind of level the playing field here. We need to make Marcus...
What is Marcus considerably in the lead? I'm not sure. It might be M.
I don't know about
Might
that.
be me, excuse me.
Oh,
It definitely won't be you. I know.
I'm a big fan. Lovely guy,
that is
but
not happening.
yeah, let's keep it real, mate. All right. I think Marcus is slightly in the lead. We got to slow this down, haven't we, James? What are we going to do?
I think we have. I think we need to get something up on that big screen behind us. Sort of forfeit wheel, bit of a surprise, bit of a kind of...
What? Since when did you get a forfeit for winning?
Well, you haven't won yet, so...
This is it. So we've got 3 colours on our forfeit wheel today. We know in our head what they are. One of them might involve some oven gloves.
Oh, really?
So can we spin?
I mean, there's no way I could do this bit right now with oven gloves. I can't do
Can
it
we
without.
spin
point?
that wheel?
hand
Marcus, you've been
behind back.
lucky. One hand behind your back, please, for the next few minutes of the show.
Well, there's no way I can do this.
This is the
That
point, Marcus.
sounds
That's what
like
a
a
forfeit
you
is.
problem, not a me problem.
Si's loving this.
Loving it, isn't it? Back in the game side. Make it
Yeah.
count. Make it count.
I think we do need to make sure that we police this from Marcus as well.
No, I'm an honest guy.
I'm not sure about that.
I
That's-
mean, how am I supposed to do this?
So how do you think your build's going? Forgetting about the hand behind your back, but of course you've got to keep it there.
Look, how am I supposed to get that screw on
I
there?
bought you a magnetic screwdriver. Look.
Yeah, so how's that go in the slot?
Technique.
Look, once again, I hate to
That
echo
is
Si's
secure
word. I hate
enough.
to pick a side, but that sounds like a you problem, Marcus.
Is one of the forfeits swap with the host and I'll start presenting and you can finish it off?
I think that'd be more a forfeit for the audience than it would the contestants today.
Is this allowed? Is this allowed?
What are you doing?
Is he using his foot? Oh,
Using the
genius. He hasn't
knees.
got an arm, so...
Using his knee. Oh,
Using his
next thing he'll be
knees.
standing on his hands.
There you go. There you go.
See, he's got over that you problem. Round us off, mate, with this latest checkup on the builds. How are you doing? How are you feeling, mate?
I just had to reinstall my motherboard because I forgot to put one part like on the back of it for the CPU mounting. Oh no,
Oh,
for the
dear.
liquid cooler mounting. So I just
this
had
is
to take
it.
it
That's
out.
what I told you to do.
How much time do you think that's cost you there?
A couple minutes for sure.
Okay, all right, just a
This-
few minutes back.
I'm not sure if you realise, F-word, but this is a blow for M. This could be what makes it and breaks it. Si at the minute is, it could be a tortoise in the hare situation. Could be a tortoise and the hare.
Very hard to call. I mean, if Sai stopped admiring the techniques that Marcus is using, I think he might actually be able to catch up a little bit here.
Motherboards aren't meant to bend, are they?
No, most definitely not supposed to bend. No.
All right, cool.
Hey, I'm an absolute amateur and even I know that much. Come on.
And with that, I don't really want to talk to Si anymore. Si, we're falling out for the next 10 minutes, mate. If you're bending the motherboards and snapping PCBs, we're not going to have a good ride.
What I'm picking up from these streams is that they think that M is smashing through it. He's not playing around. He knows what he's doing. Meanwhile, they think that Cyanide isn't doing so well, but providing great content regardless. And they're very happy to see some team support between Marcus helping out Cyanide at the beginning there. They like the team support. They also think that Marcus doesn't seem too rushed, so they think that he's a favourite to win. Lots of support for Cyanide in the chat still, mostly from people that have similar experiences. They're not too sure how to build their own PC. Maybe they've had consoles in the past or something, and not too savvy on how to build their own PC. So lots of support from the community for him.
Harry, sorry to interrupt that. I'm watching Cyanide with a radiator on his shoulder there. I don't know if we quite caught that. The guy's in the middle, radiator on his shoulder like a boombox in the 80s. This is one hell of a strategy from Cyanide.
You know what a boombox is?
I do know what a boombox is, Marcus. So what are you guys thinking of that? So I'm going to pass on some of the comments Harry kind of put over. You're the hot favourite at the minute.
Wow.
Maybe
really?
He is. Everyone says that M is calm and composed, and he's just getting on with it. You're making
yeah.
a fuss, he's not.
I'm not making a fuss. I'm
Okay, Marcus. Marcus, you've had some compliments too. We'll get to you. What's going on there, Cyanide? What's missing? What's happened?
Oh my goodness!
Oh, he's dropped something.
What are these noises?
Oh,
Got
good
the
Lord.
tempered glass.
We're fine. Nothing's broken because...
I'll tell you what the good thing is, right,
Yeah.
about Cyanide being here. Cyanide, I think you're going to like this as well. You've actually got a plethora of fans in the stream who can relate to your struggle, who are actually giving you their love and support.
Thank
Because
you.
they've tried. Harry's just told us they've been trying to do the same thing you're doing. It's not easy to pick up, is it?
I am the everyman. That's what I am today. I am everybody. I am not someone that builds PCs 2 times a week. Oh, no.
Two? Is that it? Two's rookie numbers, mate.
I've lost
Twice
my
a
fans.
day.
Oh my god.
You've lost what?
I've lost my fans.
What,
Lost your
No,
fans.
not my
gone.
Twitch fans. My found
He's
my fans.
found his fans.
Found his fans.
Can you put those in the air for a cyanide? Let's see them. Let's see those fans, all 2 of them. Look at those.
There you go.
Still in that
Back in the game.
fresh plastic packaging as well. What are you thinking of your fans, Cyanide?
Well, they look pretty nice.
They have RGB.
And they have RGB.
Can I quickly just raise a point? Because, you know, the lack of professionalism that's going on by you, the presenter here. You haven't gone through the rules. What needs to be plugged in? Can we cut corners?
Everything. We're not having this, man. We are not having
No,
excuses.
I'm not saying we
We're
should
not
have
having
this. I'm
complaints.
asking.
So everything needs to be in. Your cable management needs to be. You need to be doing that. You need to be plugging in
All
all your
RGB,
cables.
all fans,
Did you
everything.
just say cable management?
To be honest, Cyanide, I'm not sure whether we're going to get to the point where you actually plug the cables in to manage anything.
There are
So-
currently no cables to manage, so it's fine. That's okay.
So, I mean, on those grounds, you're currently performing quite well on the cable management front, I think, really.
Yeah, very
is
clean.
is the honest answer to that. Em, a lot of plaudits for you at home. People liking your strategy, they like your reserved outlook, they like your can-do attitude.
Well, that's great.
It doesn't sound so confident. does it?
Em's like, leave me alone, I'm building my PC, I'm
trying
in my
to play.
zone, I've got my RGB
Very
to deal with,
competitive.
this is...
He's been in the zone from the get-go. The only time he stopped is when he's acknowledged some RGB. That clearly is what gets him going.
I mean-
Other than that,
I mean, meanwhile, let's also take a look. Cyanide's resting a fan on a radiator. Oh my goodness.
oh, it's hurting you to watch, James. It's hurting you.
I mean, like, Cooler Master, if you're watching at home, if you want this cooler back, then you're going to have to...
I mean, to be fair, right, this is a testament to the build quality of this piece right here, because it's handling an ape like me trying to put it in a PC. So, you know.
So I think really that, you know, if anyone was wondering at home about our rationale, you know, why F word, we've kind of decided just to stick with the main components and do the GPU last. Maybe that's why. RTX 3000 series, pretty sought after at the moment, but the hot stuff on the market. Everybody wants one. Everyone's trying to get one. And I'm not sure that Cyanide dropping his on the floor is probably going to go down too well at home.
Hey, listen, we have to give a massive shout out to Marcus, right? I mean, the stream
Do we?
as Harry. Well, Harry, I know.
Sure about that?
No, you don't want to, but Harry did say, Marcus, the stream has been acknowledging that you are very calm under pressure, and they
you know
think that
what?
you're probably the favourite because of that. I'm not sure how accurate they are. Maybe you
I
agree,
feel like
maybe
that
you don't.
was maybe the mistake, though, going in calm as if it's a normal build, not actually, you know,
trying for the speed. What is it? More speed, less haste.
Talking of more speed, less haste.
No, I want to say that again, because that's good. More speed, less haste.
Talking of more speed, less haste, can we lay that PC down? The guys at home and the guys and girls at home want to see what's in your computer.
Can I not win first and then show it off?
No, absolutely.
No, we want to see it now.
It's one of the conditions. You asked what the rules are. Whoa.
Okay, so this is where we're at.
Have you plugged in your CPU power cable?
Yes. I did have to take the fan back off. But I'd like to point out, you missed me trying to put all of this in with one hand. That's why I've had to do it in a slightly different order. Because I could not assemble the CPU block with one hand.
Can we see your system, please, Billy? Let's have a look what we got going on over here.
Okay.
I haven't been able to plug in one of my CPU power connectors though. I've been really struggling. I'm not sure if I'm doing something wrong.
In what sense? What's your problem then? Let's give you a lifeline. We helped Cyanide earlier. I need a bit more description than that. I'm not allowed on the stage.
I mean, there's two CPU power cables. One of them goes in fine.
So are we talking an 8-pin and then an additional 4-pin? Is that what we're chatting here?
Two 8-pins.
Two 8-pins. Marcus, have you put both CPU power cables in?
I never have done that in my life.
This is interesting.
Oh, okay.
M's struggling
I
with a
didn't know we were
cable.
doing some serious overclocking here
Hang on.
Okay.
M's struggling with a cable that Marcus hasn't even bothered to put in.
No, whoa. Before, let's see, classic James. Like, he's going off on one, isn't he? He's forgotten the key thing that I've got a different motherboard that only has one 8-pin.
True.
That was a setup.
So do you see how red his face has gone there? That is the face of someone that is
The way
wrong.
you answered was a bit misleading.
Straight setup.
He's
The
got a point there.
answer was, you know what, Em? I'm going to throw you a lifeline. You don't have to worry about that second one.
All right.
Marcus's outburst there has won you some good plaudits, I think, from the hosting team calling the shots over here. What are your thoughts, Em?
Got to pick your enemies more wisely, I think, Marcus. This one's slightly backfired. Listen, it's hard to call. I'd say Marcus is in prime position. I mean, M was looking great at the start, but clearly has been slipped up a little bit, so may have to struggle. So I'd say Marcus is looking good to take it now.
I think we also need to make sure we're ready a bit later for when we mix it up with kind of some punishments and some handicaps, if you will. The oven gloves we talked about. We need to make sure they're primed and ready to go.
We have
They were
oven
there,
gloves.
and I'm not seeing them. Maybe Marcus has gone and hit them. He knew that was kind of coming his way. So I think prepare yourselves at home for some oven glove action a little bit later. And we are back after that little break there. We caught our breath, had a drink, and watched these guys storm through their builds. They're all looking a bit confused at the moment.
Yeah, no one looks as confident as they did at the start, James.
No, I think that break might have thrown people off a little bit. We are going to come back and speak to some of our contestants in just a moment. But first, we want to know what you guys are saying at home. Harry, how's it going? What are people saying? Who are people rooting for? Give us kind of the state of what's going on.
Okay, so I have quite a bit to catch you up on. So at the moment, all of the chats seem to think that Cyanide needs to tidy up his workspace a little bit. It's looking a little bit cluttered. They're not sure how he's going to manage to finish the build if he's looking for the components of his computer everywhere.
PC build update, then
we
do
think
that.
He could benefit from a little bit of organisation, although we're not sure how much time he has left to do so. They're very much looking forward to seeing the end product that he creates, that's for sure, and he's providing a lot of good quality content. In terms of the other contestants, they think that Marcus has a lot of confidence. So, you know, if the oven gloves come into play, or maybe taking him back to building the computer with only one hand, they think that could create a bit of an even ground for all of the contestants. They do think that M and Marcus are bringing the build quality, while Cyanide is definitely bringing the content. So I have a few things with the Minecraft builds to catch up with as well. They're all very impressed by the Minecraft builds. They say that the second one is looking the best so far, but the others are coming along great. They want to see a little bit more lighting detail in there, so maybe using some redstone or something like that to bring them to life. They think that Scissors should not have mentioned the fact that hers looks like a cassette tape, because now the chat cannot unsee it. It just looks like a cassette tape, unfortunately. Queenie had the lead because of all the detail in her build, but they think they're all coming along really well. They're still sending in lots of positive feedback about the builds and about the contestants as well. They're very excited to see how they end up, because at the moment, nobody really knows.
I want your take on something.
Right,
I
okay.
know you're not going to approve. This is the situation.
Right.
I've lost the thermal paste. It's gone. Can't find it. But
Oh,
I've got
wow.
a solution.
We've got a supply drop, Marcus.
Yeah, but
We've got a supply drop coming into the studio. Harry has moved from her post. Are we ready? Give it a big old throw. Go on, Harry. You've got this.
Whoa.
Hey!
Oh, you've hit Tim the cameraman.
Tim the cameraman's down, ladies and gents, but we do have thermal paste. F-Word's going to go and grab that for us, and that's going to allow Marcus to carry
I
on
was
with his
about to
build.
scrape it off of the stock cooler and put it on, but you missed out on that.
I don't think Cooler Master would have approved of us degrading their cooler like that, but instead we've got a fresh tube of lovely, wonderful thermal paste.
And how am I going to open this without scissors, please?
Well, you know, you can't have your cake and eat it,
No,
Marcus.
I can't eat my cake because I can't get to the cake.
Spoon-fed every step of the way.
Oh, yes.
This is it.
Right,
I mean,
there
this is pretty basic wrap plastic. He can probably snap that in half if he
Basic,
wishes.
do you want to have a go?
Not really, no. No. I'm going to come back to Marcus in a minute while I don't know what he's doing with that thermal
Educationally,
paste.
I've got to know, how big a deal is that, what he's just said he's missed
That's
out?
quite big.
How am I supposed to get in here with a screwdriver, thank you?
I mean, you know, this is one of the things, right? Marcus
One
was
of the things about building a PC, it just happens all the time, isn't it? It's like, oh no, but they've conveniently taken away the thermal paste out of my box as a joke. They've not given me any scissors. They've given me something I can't open.
I really want to
Happens every
share.
time.
I really want to share a behind-the-scenes tidbit for some of the audience at home. We have got a queue at the front of the studio, which gives us some notes and some pointers. It tells us if we know we need to speed up, we need to slow down. And at the moment, the text has gone and it's been replaced. What's it been replaced with, Femi?
I'm not sure I can say it.
It's been replaced with WTF, and I think that is the biggest WTF moment of the stream so far.
I'm just about in.
He's in.
Oh,
I
there you
knew
go,
it.
there
I
you
knew
go.
he'd get in. I knew it. See, with adversity comes ingenuity, and
That's not a phrase.
that is not. We've been pointing that live on Silicon Challenge. Marcus, we're going to come back to you in a moment while you have your little tantrum. Em, how's it going, Em? You're the silent but deadly creature in this competition once again today.
Trying to get the liquid cooler mounted. It's been difficult so far.
Let's spin that chassis around. Let's have a look what we've got going on inside.
I feel like I've lost my instructions somewhere. I've been looking for them
Cool.
all
Can we lay
stream.
it flat as well, Em? Sorry.
Oh,
so
yeah,
we can
yeah,
get,
sure.
We've got a lovely top down over you as well, mate. Oh dear. Oh, he's having an absolute
cooler blast.
Oh my.
Wow.
He's having
using the liquid cooler.
That doesn't look good, James.
I mean, we talked about
That's the right
CPU
one,
cooler build quality a little bit
They
earlier.
hook on to the existing.
Si was asking some questions again to Marcus. Make sure we got that distance, please, guys. Come on. Let's not interfere with each other's systems.
We're not. We're just.
Let's keep this fair.
Friendly competition.
Friendly.
You know.
So how are you feeling this play out, Em? You've got your screws, you've got all the tools you need for this, or?
Possibly. I might be missing some screws. I'm not sure.
As much as I'm very grateful for our sponsors AOC today, it's not looking like Em's going to need to use an AOC monitor, unfortunately.
No, I mean, this is a guy who kicked off the whole show without a screwdriver. Just got on with it. The complete opposite of Marcus, I must say. No offense, Marcus, but you made it very vocal.
Have you ever heard the phrase "you can't get the staff"?
And where's this going? Where's this going?
I have heard that phrase, yes.
This is a PC build challenge where you individually build your computer and you can't get the staff. Where are you going with that, Mark?
Curious to hear how this ends.
I just think you've been messing with our setup to make it deliberately harder for us.
Wow. Is that something you would do?
It's a coup.
It's all fun and it's a coup. It's a pre-planned coup that we formulated over our pulled pork for lunch. And now look what's happened. It's all gone up the Swanee for Marcus.
I don't know, James. I didn't hear a denial in that sentence, though, I got to say.
Look, sorry. Not sorry.
He's not that bright, don't worry.
Sorry, we're coming to you in a second. I've got to be honest, mate. And I'm going to give no comment for that one. I'm going to...
wow, okay.
Plead the fifth, as my US fans would say. How's it going, Si? What we looking like? We're looking more positive now?
Yeah, the cooler's in. I've just got to...
Hang on. I'm going to interrupt you. Your cooler's in and M's isn't.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, okay, his cooler's in and he's mounting it to the CPU. My cooler's in and still has the protective plastic on it. So
yeah, let's remove that first. Let's just do that now. It's out of the way then.
I guess you could say he's a cooler master.
Oh, God. That was painful.
Just leave. Just go.
I think this is the point you forfeit your position, Marcus. Oh, Marcus, hang on a second. I've noticed something. It looks like we're not a man down, but we're a fan down.
Yeah,
once
I've had to
again.
take it out twice. This is the issue with if you want to go for a really small case, it's brilliant in the long term, but when you're building it, it can be a little bit more tricky. Just trying to get the cables right at the top. That's one of the things. It happens all the time, different sorts of brands, but if you go small, then things can go wrong.
I think on that note, we'll move over to M and see how M's getting on. I think I'm doing no comment there.
My RAM is back in.
Well, hang on.
Finally.
Hang on. Your RAM was out.
Yeah, I
it was
had
out,
to take
yeah.
it out to mount the liquid cooler. All right.
Ah, yes.
We should clip,
But
really?
But the liquid cooler is mounted now.
With 2 screws.
Two's better than 1, and 1's better than 0. So 2 classes is into me.
You dropped the thing over there.
Look at this.
Fantastic sportsmanship here from
Dropped the thing.
Cyanide. Hold on, he didn't drop anything at all. He's smiling. It's a distraction attempt. Oh, genius play there from
I
Cyanide.
just wanted to see how he put the brackets in.
Can you tilt that PC up so big old cameraman over here can see what we've actually got going on inside of there? I know we're no graphics card yet. Oh, I'm seeing a bit of a cable management doozy already there.
No, come on. It's look, listen.
So, question. Why have you put your CPU fans on with the cables facing out the case?
Because there's a really good reason for this.
Right.
Okay? And I'm going to think of that reason and I'll get back to you in a couple of minutes.
I mean, let me be clear. This is not a disqualification error. It's more a rookie error.
No, it's like, you can just kind of put them there and...
Hold on a second, James. Maybe being a bit harsh here. Do you get extra points for
he is
the
a rookie.
appearance?
I think you get extra points for finesse, and that technique is showing just about 0 at the moment.
Okay.
It's a bit messy here, right? But the Mona Lisa wasn't conceived in a lab. It was conceived in a workshop, and workshops are messy.
Next thing, you'll be telling me Rome wasn't built in a day. So what you're saying, Si, is you don't need 6 hours, you don't need an hour, you need about 6 days to complete your system. I think this is a really important point, right? Because, a lot of people, when they build a PC, they're like, what do I do? What if I get it wrong? And I think Si's a perfect example. He's getting things, quote unquote, wrong. I mean, he's not getting them right, but it's still going to be functional. The PC's still going to work and still going to game really nicely with this RTX graphics card.
Well, what's the long-term negatives, though? I guess the appearance is going to be pretty obvious.
The appearance. But, I mean, ultimately, a lot of people see their PCs as passion sort of projects, right? On a Sunday afternoon with the family over, not quite over roast dinner, but you kind of get the point, right? So it's something...
No, please elaborate on that. Something about... Family, Sunday, gaming PC, liquid cooled.
liquid cooled is a bit of an extravagant word to use there. I think it's more a project, right? A PC's a project you can come back to and spin those fans around later.
This is it, yeah.
As long as they're in, and I know I've said this 3 times now, but that screwdriver, he's still got the paper wrapping on his screwdriver.
It can't be easy to be
you haven't
twisting with the
given
paper
him
there as well.
Yeah, you don't need scissors. So question: your CPU cooler's going on. Did you find thermal paste?
Yes, I
You
did.
did get thermal
I
paste.
did get
I think
thermal
I lost
paste.
it, to be fair.
It's
Yeah,
in
I-
one of the bags. You have to dig through them.
I'm pretty sure that box is sealed, Marcus. So to have lost the thermal paste is more of a rookie error. He's taking tips from Cyanide here.
Yep, yeah, and entirely his fault.
I'm just looking forward to episode 2, and I'm hosting, and you're here.
Oh, that sounds good. That sounds
I can
very
come up
interesting.
with
Hang on.
challenges.
I go, whoa. I got a veto on this, surely.
Harry, let us know what the stream chat think of that one, please.
Yeah, Harry, what are we thinking? Are we just
that
gonna
sounds really good. Yeah.
throw 2 out the blue?
If you had to get rid of one of the presenters, who would it be? Let us know.
Harry's
No, don't answer that.
Harry's shaking her head up there going, no, it's not going to happen. It's like, no, I'm not kicking a host off the show. She's like, I haven't got that power. So, what are you screwing in, Sai? Enlighten us.
I'm unscrewing what I think is a protective shroud. So this is either going to go very well or very
For
badly.
protective shroud for what component exactly?
I've got to mount the cooler to the chip, right?
And you're taking protective shrouds
well, yeah,
off?
because you got to replace the bracket. You got to put a bracket in. I was told.
The mount.
The mount.
The
yeah.
Intel
Right.
or AMD mount.
So
Yeah.
in order to do that, I thought you left the stock mounting hardware on for that, Sai. I thought it clipped over.
You got these little plastic thingies that come off, possibly.
Let's have a look at that CPU cooler mounting again. Let's see what we're playing with here.
So you've got this little plastic bit,
Yeah.
right? And then you replace it with this metal bit.
Now, Sai, I don't want to throw you too many hints. I've given you a lifeline already today.
Yeah.
But that black plastic bracket needs to go back on.
Oh, okay then. That works.
And that they connect together, Si. This is more of a... They work in harmony, not as one, really. They don't work individually.
You know what I loved the most about that entire explanation from Sai? Was the cheeky grin on M's face as he went through it. Just letting him dig deeper and deeper. He knew the answer. He just let him dig. Let him dig and dig.
Talking of the dark horse of the competition, let's see that system, Em. I think we can actually pull that up on the overhead, so you can probably leave it where it is. But where are we? What we got left to do?
I've got to mount the liquid cooler, man, but
Still
I
mount the liquid
can't
cooler.
figure it
See,
out. I've
he's
been on
struggling with it too.
like, do I use these? I'm on Intel. I've not built an Intel
Right.
system for a little
Oh,
while.
you know
so
what?
I'm not
I
really
can
sure
hear
what's going on.
excuses.
Excuses.
Yeah.
Can we give him another forfeit or something?
whoa,
He's
whoa.
talking
More
too
of a
much
mix.
at this point. He's got too much free time.
I think muting the microphone might be the best course of action on that one. I'm not sure. I just need to get confirmation from the guys up in the gallery. Do we have our next set of forfeits ready?
No way.
Do we still have those CSS
Oh,
questions
yes,
from
we
earlier?
do.
Here we go. So one hand behind the back has now gone.
Okay, who are we going to give this forfeit to?
This is a good question. Who are we reckoning?
It's got to be the person in the lead, right?
Who's in the lead?
I think despite the struggles, Marcus is still in the lead.
I really don't want to seem biased. I don't want to go against Marcus, but
Rock, paper, scissors?
I mean, if it helps, I'm a bit confused at the moment because I've not got enough RGB.
You can
the
never
wheel
have
has
too
been
much.
spun.
Oh, it's an oven
Marcus
glove.
has got an oven
Left
glove
hand.
to go on the left hand.
Is it going to Marcus? Oh, I'm sorry, Marcus. That is
Contestants,
confirmed.
can we confirm if we have an oven glove behind the stage desk?
I think I hid them, didn't I?
Marcus has hit the oven gloves. That's an interesting strategy. Has he found the oven glove? He has.
Right. Let me take over the presenting for a second because the thing I don't understand, right, is this is clearly, as you can tell, very well put together show so far. I think we can all agree it's going very well.
Where are you going with
I'm
this?
pleasantly surprised. And yet,
Pleasantly surprised.
For some reason,
Ouch.
the budget in the show allows £1.75 for an oven glove.
You can keep it. You can take it home with you today, Marcus.
I mean, where do you even find an oven glove that cheap? I don't understand.
I know you like cooking, Marcus, so you can take that oven glove, that oven mitt home as a souvenir.
I actually, true story, bought 2 cookbooks on the way over here at the service.
But hang on, Marcus, this is a tech show.
Yeah, that's
This is not MasterChef. This is not the Great
I'm
British
just
Bake Off.
explaining that, yes, you're right. I like to cook.
So Marcus is officially the only man to have ever bought cookery books at
Where
a
you going with this
services. At a service station. That's
70% off, mate.
70%
Get one
off.
for a Christmas present, one for the January.
He's a value-oriented fellow. How do you think that's going to impact your build process today? The people at home are going to be interested.
What, the oven glove or the cookbooks?
Where
Both.
the heck does this go?
To be honest, not as much one hand behind the back. I was trying to.
Not
that
as
was
much.
way worse. I was trying to open bags of like power supply cables. Think about it. How do you open a bag with one hand? Yeah.
I don't know, with the screwdriver or scissors if you had some of those.
I had to use. Well, it was awful.
It was a traumatic
It was-
experience.
Yeah.
So you'll not only be going home with an oven glove today, but bad memories as well to sleep on this
Yeah.
evening.
Yeah. I'd say so.
See, that's interesting. He's got a grip on his fan cable with the oven mitt.
He's making it work.
Hence
He is
why
making
it's the easier.
almost
thing.
advantageous. He seems to be moving more freely than
You know
he
what
was
I think?
before.
Do you know what I think's helping him here? His oven mitt has a thumb hole. If it
No, it
was
doesn't.
one continuous straight
Wait, you
mitt,
want a mitten? That's not an oven glove. That'd be an oven mitten. Bish bash posh.
So hang on. Can you repeat that for us? I think we missed that as you sip your water there.
No, I'm joking.
That was that. Oh my goodness.
He got me. He got me there as well.
The guys in the gallery hate you now. The guys in the
I
gallery are
said
not
that
happy.
clearly the oven glove was the magic thing to speed it all along.
So by saying you think you've finished, can we kind of dig into that? Because I'm not so sure.
well, define finished, right? Like,
Right, no.
Defined finish.
Poor Carve 'em Up has been absolutely shafted. He's been told to go home and be quiet because you think you've finished and
well, no.
oh my goodness.
There are a few different levels of finished. What I say, and is genuine good advice for anyone that's building a PC, is cable management's important, cable as you go, but the last thing you want to do before testing your system is get everything neat and tidy, spending 20 minutes with all your cable ties going, yes, that's amazing, and then something doesn't work and you've then got to start cutting them and redoing it. What's the point? Start up your PC with the side panels off, make sure it works, no clearance issues with the fans, everything lights up, and then you can cable manage.
Do you know what, F-word, Marcus's problem is? He's living in an ideal world.
Oh, okay.
And this show, Silicon Challenge, is not an ideal world.
Okay.
Can you get that side panel off, Marcus? We want to see that cable management.
No.
No, that's
on. It's on.
That's looking quite good
No,
from
it's
the
fun.
free. He's spinning the thing around.
I've just had a heart attack.
I'm half expecting it to go straight
It's
through the
flush.
165 hertz on
Right,
the
I'll tell you what,
AOC
I'll
monitor
take
there.
the side panel off.
Right.
If you can be honest with me, and you
Okay.
can say that you're not just filling for time.
This is outrageous. This is an outrageous admission
Because you
from
know
Mr.
what's
Cole.
underneath it.
But your defense is filling for time.
Yeah.
You know underneath that's not pretty.
But it doesn't need to be, does it?
What do you guys think?
Yes, it needs to be very cable managed. And you've got to have braided cables, and you've got to do
Braided
all of that.
cables.
Where are these
Yeah.
braided cables coming from? Frank?
Find them. That's not my problem. That's yours.
So what do you think, Em? Do you think he needs to have that tidy cable in at the back?
And RGB cables as well, very important.
And
And
RGB
RGB.
as well.
All right,
Wow.
yeah, RGBs is
They
ready.
do
That's
now.
what I mean. It's all good to go. All right, tell you what, we'll do a trade. I'll tidy up the cables if I can take this off.
Only if I can see it first.
But that's the deal. You can see it if I take it off.
Right, now,
That's my only leverage.
you know what, Marcus? Let's decide this in the only way that we can both agree is fair.
What's that? But just
We're
by
gonna-
doing as the host says.
No, we're going to pop up to the wonderful community corner host, Harry, that we haven't, it feels like ages since
It's been a while, hasn't it?
Harry,
Yeah,
it has.
absolutely.
What's the chat saying, Harry? What's the consensus? Does Marcus need to take that oven glove off and finish his cable management? I can't even speak, it's so excited.
So we actually had a bit of a recommendation for something that could potentially get in the way of Marcus's build. What the chat thinks should happen is instead of using the oven glove, the forfeit should be that they just swap rigs completely and Marcus has to finish off a different rig. Although, not sure that may happen, but the chat think it would be hilarious.
Whoa.
We also ran a poll in my chat to see who the audience think would win. Marcus did win the poll with Cyanide coming second and M in... lots of people entering the competition on Twitter as well, and the chat do think that there was some sneaky planning with Marcus not having any thermal paste, although he did find it in the end, so maybe not so much. M having a very well-organised workspace,
Can't be
I think that gave him a huge advantage, and he just generally stayed organised and well-composed as well.
So, thank you very much, Harry, for that update. I have got an update of my own. This is not a James decision. This is a gallery decision. This has just come through. I don't know if you heard this.
I'm
F-word.
nervous to hear this, James. What
In
is
my
it?
ear. Marcus is not going to like this.
What
So you
are
see,
the-
for context, we can't hear what's going
No,
on.
so
up there.
and that's the news I'm about to break. One of the audience members in the lovely Harry's chat said that you guys should swap PCs.
Wow.
Yes.
You should do a gaming hardware-based cha-cha slide and move across to the PC.
That is a fantastic idea. However, due to the current COVID situations, we cannot do that.
I think he's gazumped me there.
He's got it.
I think he's
miles ahead,
absolutely
isn't he,
had me off. You have got a point.
Yeah.
And what that means, Marcus,
Yeah.
is that you're going to have to do that cable management with the mitt
I've made a
on.
start with my oven glove. Look.
What's that? That's worse than
It's
the
a
faulty
start.
tower system
Yeah, 'cause
we
I haven't
saw
done
half
it.
an hour ago.
I haven't done it. That's like saying well, you've still got 300 miles of your destination to go. We haven't turned the car on yet.
So you've not arrived.
Yeah, exactly.
This is the thing. So
So why are you mugging it off?
Marcus, you've cha-cha slided out of our cha-cha slide plans, and as such, you do need to finish that cable management off. With the other mitt.
No, it's
you
a
can
glove.
you can remove the
It's a
glove.
glove.
You can remove the glove.
Okay, I think that's fair. I think that's fair.
He's got to do that cable management.
Got to do the cable management.
Does everyone else have to do the cable management?
No.
I think what we need here really is a points-based system whereby, you know,
Well, like
we take
Australia.
nothing like Australia, where we take into account ability in terms of PC building. We need
I
kind
just
of-
like making you nervous. I can see in your face that he's going into areas I don't like this. I don't like this.
He's taking us into places that I'm not really feeling. I'm not
You
really.
were all confident, weren't you? When we've done the old bait and switch.
We have.
Yeah.
And on that note, while, you know, there's not too much going on in the PC world over here, Marcus is reluctantly, begrudgingly doing his cable management. M seems to be reading a manual, which is pretty ridiculous.
I am done, by the way. I mean, look, come on. I
Right.
don't have scissors. I can't do any more than that.
Now, I'll be honest, Femi, I've been putting this moment off.
Been filling for time.
I have a little bit, but I've got one final piece of news for you, Marcus.
Yeah, what's that?
Before we actually let you, and we are going to let you get hands-on with this 3080 graphics card, we're going to look at some more Faulty Towers submissions that have actually been sent in during the show. Completely new submissions that have come in just in around the last hour and 20
Ooh, I like
minutes. This is quite exciting. I'm quite looking forward to this. I can see them on the screen behind Femi right now. They're on the stream for those watching at home. Look at this. He's got an RGB keyboard, plus 10 points for that. Some naughty reflections on there. Look at that. The screen's not good, is it? Oh dear.
What is that? That's
What?
not even a PC.
That's
a PC. That's like, look at my wire.
I think he's
singular.
he's just had his case delivered, can't get any stock of anything else, and he's just taken a photo of it, and and he's trying to make do, I think, really.
He's waiting for NVIDIA to start making motherboards.
Whoa, that's okay. No, that's not too bad. Is that?
That's SFX, isn't it?
That's SFX, yeah. That's an interesting take. That's a nice small form factor system. Cheeky little low profile cooler. I'm not so sure on the cables though.
No, that's a riser cable, the blue cables there. That's looking naughty. But why are these not plugged in? Why are there some loose cables there?
Yeah, why is that? I think they look like fan cables, or what are they at the bottom? Flying loose. That's and the keyboard needs some work. I'm not trying to demean him there, but the keyboard needs. Once again, I'm not sure that's eligible.
What is that?
It's just another case.
That looks like an empty case.
It's an empty case.
Yeah.
The question I've got, F-word, does that look better than Cyanide's system so far? It may have been better off just having the empty case. That
Brutal.
doesn't count.
Brutal.
I'm not having that on the screen.
I'm taking a mic now. James.
That is absolutely outrageous.
Taking a mic, mate. Go on.
Right, I think it's time.
Fair to say there's some talent out there, James. But yes, I think it is time.
I think it's time.
Is it?
This is a bit of news. I'm sorry, Si, I'm going to have to cut you off there, mate. Marcus, a.k.a. PC Centric, the W is by no means yours as of
He
yet.
hasn't won yet.
I've
Good.
changed my mind. I'm not done, actually.
What?
Oh my God, this is
What on
outrageous. This is absolutely outrageous.
I've got some extra cable management to do.
M, have you got a chance of catching him with that recent update?
Where are we,
I
Em?
mean,
Speak to me.
I'm still on the liquid cooler. I finally found the instructions.
Hang on,
I
you've
was
been
looking
the
for
whole
them.
time. You haven't been reading the instructions.
No, I just found them.
Shall we admit something, right?
Go on.
Because I think it's we know. If
Yeah.
you know PC Centric, you know we build a lot of computers.
Yeah.
You know, Geekawhat, a lot
Really?
of computers. But I have used every component inside this system before at some point in my career. Is that an unfair advantage?
Yes.
I was trying to figure out what the potential insinuation was there, but I think you've kind of come clean, really. I think you're ready, Marcus. I think this is your chance. If you want to come home with the Silicon Challenge crown, I think now you've got to step up to the plate and come and get this RTX 3080.
A moment of
Okay.
truth. Yeah.
I shall move
I
swiftly
mean,
out
I'd
your
like
way.
to point out it might not work.
Okay, brilliant.
You know,
Whatever the more
Kind of
fun.
intensity we want to see.
I haven't actually seen this one yet. I've used 3080s; they're good, but I haven't seen the Zotac triple slot beast. Just
Yeah, this Zotac card's pretty fruity as Marcus walks back over there. One thing we do need from you, Marcus, is we need you to do an unboxing for us. We need to see inside the box.
Yeah. How do you want the camera setup to work? Do you want like the overhead? Do you want me to do it here? Talk to
Yeah,
me.
let's have an overhead. Let's have an overhead unboxing. So me and F Word are gonna be sort of flying blind a bit here.
Yeah.
But it's the hollow black cooler from Zotac, their AMP cooler, being used quite a lot on the Zotac range of NVIDIA GeForce graphics cards to great success. Famed for really good overclocking headroom, these guys.
Okay, so you want full PC Centric unboxing experience? Is that what you're after?
Go on. We'll hand you the baton temporarily.
Let's go, Marcus. Let's go.
All right, wait. Let me compose. Right, ready? So as if it was a video. Oh, what's inside this box? I'm really excited
He's
for
flicked the
this one.
switch. The switch has been flicked. I'm not
Oh,
sure how I
he's
feel
an
about it
We've
yet.
got some documentation that you're definitely going to read.
Nice.
Open it up. We got some foam.
Nice. Padding, protection.
And Zotac do lose a few points because the Founders Edition box smells amazing. Yet,
Hang on,
I'm
hang
not
on.
getting the same foam smell.
Hang on. I
We lose
should
points.
say that has been sitting in the boot of my car for a few weeks.
No, but it's not the same foam. You know what I'm talking about. Right? The smell of a new Founders graphics card is amazing.
So what you're saying is that's releasing less chemicals into your note.
Yes, I'm saying that.
And therefore, it's worse.
No, because the thing that,
That's what you're saying.
the thing that obviously matters is the card itself, which is going to be bigger and hopefully do a much better job at cooling. I think you've long forgotten about the smell a month after you've been using your graphics card, unless it's caught fire.
I think once again you happen to be kind of bringing the senses of cooking into Silicon Challenge today. Smell, taste.
That's a different sort of
You
cooking.
wanted to eat the thermal paste. You want to smell the graphics card. What next? You're going to start putting it in an oven or what?
Do you want me to unbox it or not? You're insulting me. That wasn't part of the description. Right, here we go. So, this camera, we go here.
This is outrageous, guys and girls. This is absolutely outrageous.
Moment of truth. So here we have our Zotac graphics card. You can see we've got 3 fans for better cooling. This is brand new actually. It's still got some peeling to be done on the top. And I do like the fact that the branding is a little bit more subtle on this actually. Some of the ones I think have been a little bit over the top. We've got 2 8-pins, so we don't need to have any like alien converter or anything from the new 12-pin on the Founders. But then on the back, again, nice and clean, liking that. Is this RGB? I haven't used this
That's
card
what
yet.
I want to know. Is this a product that Mr. M, Mr. TechBlock is going to approve of?
Should we find out?
What do you think, Em?
There is only one way to find out.
There is only one way to find out. I should also... Unfortunately, it's not going to be you.
It's not going to be
I'm
your
afraid.
PC, no. Unfortunately, no.
I mean, keep going, though, because if this doesn't post, you have a chance to redeem
Exactly. Cyanide M, don't give up. There's still a chance that this tanks for Marcus.
Very good question, and I do not know the answer to this one. What does POST stand for?
Power on startup test.
Bang, there he
Oh,
goes.
there you
Power
go.
on self-test.
Wow.
Oh,
It is, actually.
oh,
It is.
Oh, there you go.
What's happened here?
Cyanide, baby.
That's right.
Hang
That's
on a
right. That's
second.
what I'm
Go.
talking about.
Hang on, can we just review what's happened here? I mean, Femi, I know you do a bit of analysis, normally of Street Fighter,
mate.
not of PC building.
Yes,
but
yes.
Nevertheless, he's bringing it around to the front. We make sure that monitor's flipped around as well for us when you do eventually boot up.
I will, don't you worry.
I've got visions of this going flying.
You told me to go into present mode, so I'm presenting.
Keep away from me and we're fine. Right, here we go.
All right. So I've taken no, I haven't. I've taken one of the slots out.
This is very descriptive here from the one and only PC Centric.
You guys are getting a free show here.
This is my heart's going, mate.
I'm a bit nervous.
I'm on edge here.
Music's got me going as well. Blimey.
God, I need to.
I'm
Because
just,
the
I'm
best
just
bit-
watching as well. I'm captivated.
Yeah, you're supposed to be working, but you're just like seeing.
Sounds like it's over.
I'm captivated at this point.
I like M's attitude. He's still at it. You know.
All right, Marcus, let's
trying to mount that.
Sure.
let's cut the admiration. Let's get it installed.
Can we get some silence in the studio just for the noise of the
Okay,
click?
okay.
Because we know how good the noise is, right? Right, I'll tell you when. You can talk amongst yourselves. It's all right. It's all right. Don't you worry. Here we go. Ready for the click.
What's happened here?
Who's the host today, James?
Who's the host?
Just out of
Right, ready?
Boom.
It didn't sound that good, actually.
Yeah, it didn't. No, it
No,
didn't.
but
that
you
wasn't
know,
great.
come on, the
Right,
effort
here we
is
go.
there. So I'll get the screws put back in, power cables plugged in, and then we can indeed see if it posts. Oh no, wait, this is live, isn't it? So if it doesn't work, I've got live embarrassment.
Yeah, maybe
yeah.
this is the silver lining I've been after, allowing Marcus to finish his system first. You know, we've had our Minecraft winner today. We've had the community go absolutely crazy at the results of the build-off so far. But here's the big moment we've been waiting for.
It is.
This is the important bit.
I must say, just on that, before we hit the power, massive shout out to Rage Darling and Carve 'em Up. Incredible piece, but I did give the vote to Sis because she finished, which, as you said, James, is quite important.
She
right?
paced this out and she planned, and we can't punish for that.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, they had a plan, that they followed that plan, and they hit the deliverables on time. That's important.
I know I'm getting a lot of slack in the stream chat for that one, guys, but understand the logic. Now, more importantly, moment of truth here.
NVIDIA are sponsoring this, right?
I hope so. Otherwise, there's been an interesting
So,
hours.
yeah.
I'm sorry to say to NVIDIA that we've currently now got eForce RTX, not GeForce RTX, because of the power cable location.
Right.
I don't think that is a rebrand, but I just want to make you aware.
Thanks. I've just lost the plot here. I think you know when people take over brands' sort of accounts. I think Marcus has done a Silicon Challenge flavored takeover today.
Yes.
I just like pushing you, to.
By the way, those of you guys
edge,
watching
to the
who are
edge.
wondering if this is occasional or a one-off, they're like this 24/7, and I love every moment of
Yeah,
it.
through
guys.
every rehearsal and every moment backstage.
Downtime, lunch,
Yep, lunch, dinner.
every second of the day.
Yep.
Right.
And I can confirm.
So Marcus is busy, right? But I got a question for you, buddy. Why have you stopped? I didn't see this defeatist attitude coming from you.
The key to working well is to take breaks often. If you're building a PC at home, it can be a bit tiring sometimes.
sigh.
This doesn't sound like the advice that you'd get
So
from
you
James's stream.
gotta take a break every now and then and just sort of gather yourself
You know
together
what?
and
I totally agree.
get back to it. Yes, that's how you got to do it. So I'm taking a break. Executive rest.
So Marcus is now plugging that DisplayPort cable into the AOC monitor. I don't know if the monitor's powered up.
No, that's
it
the
is,
power
actually.
cable.
It is powered up, Marcus. Could we see the front of that panel?
Oh.
Whoa, that didn't.
Whoa, there was a bit of nearly collateral damage on that AOC panel there. I thought
No,
you-
these AOC monitors are strong. They can take it. It's all right.
Don't just ram it in, Marcus.
Can we have that AOC
What a
monitor on the
position.
top of the desk facing outwards so that we can actually see if you do post?
We can.
We can. Jolly, right answer, really. You got that 3060 Ti next to you, of course, the latest release from Zotac as well, which we like.
Oh, moment
Always
of
good.
truth.
Can I just point out we are definitely going to get an error because it's going to say no keyboard.
That's okay. We just need the fans to spin up, lights to turn on, and our screen to have some sort of text on it.
Oh, this is nervous.
Right. So what I would normally do now is check all of the cables, but for entertainment value, should I just turn it on?
Are you suggesting normally your cables wouldn't be quite?
Well, it might be. Nobody's perfect, James.
I think
Other
it's
than you.
time.
What was it? The last project we did together, actually. And I bet you cut this out of your video. Didn't
I think
you?
I did cut this out of my video, Marcus.
You
Yeah.
plugged the graphics into the motherboard.
Did
so
I?
The,
I
so the
don't.
HDMI cable into the motherboard, which of course in a Ryzen system isn't going to work, James, is it? It was embarrassing because you edited it out. But I want everyone to know he ruined it.
On that note, let's get that system powered up. I think we need a countdown. Whoa, 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 whoa.
Yeah. Okay. Wait. So start the countdown. Yeah.
Start the countdown. You ready? Okay. We've
ready.
got fans. We've got lights.
Wait,
that
what's this?
We've got RGB on all of them. We've got
will his monitor turn on?
we've got a red error light.
I see a
but it should go
debug
off.
LED on his motherboard. Sorry.
Oh.
I don't know.
I mean, that's not a good one. That's a CPU error as well.
Oh dear.
Oh.
Oh, no. Ryzen boards take a bit longer to cycle through that, don't they?
My personal prediction is that Marcus has got this.
Yeah?
I think. Did you remove the protective film from your CPU cooler today?
There wasn't one. Or
what?
if there was, I think I did take it off.
He doesn't know.
I mean, to be fair, this isn't looking as promising as I would like, but it's still fine.
On that note, I'm
Here we
going back-
go. He's posted.
Oh, there you go.
He's done it.
Oh, you know what I've done there? I've plugged the memory in the wrong slots. That's
You know
not
what?
like me. I got carried away.
You know what this means? He's got to turn that PC off. He's got to sort that
Well,
memory
that's
out.
not actually what you said, though, because they are in dual channel mode. They're just not in
Did
slots
that-
2 and 4.
Did that PC error?
No. Well, here's the question.
It actually didn't, James.
F-word, we need to have a discussion here, live on air. Is this within the definition? Are we saying that it's posting? The guys at home want to know.
Is there a film on this? I think more importantly, you're missing the RGB.
I think, Marcus, what I'm hearing in my ear, and this is gospel, mate.
What is it?
You need to turn that PC off. You need to move those
Oh,
randoms.
no. How
gotta do it.
am I going to take the RAM out and put it into a different slot? That's going to take so long.
Details, Marcus, because
Oh, no, you know what? Egg on my face, I've got to take the fan out.
I know that was what was going to happen. I knew.
And you know what? This is blocking the way.
And you know what I also need to just remind you of to make sure we're obeying all the rules today? I do need you to spin back round to the other side of the desk and
sure?
stand in your allocated spot.
I am still 1.5 meters away from
You need to
everybody, though.
stand round the other side of the
Okay.
desk in your allocated spot and plug the cables, sort that PC out, and maybe M at this point can catch up.
Anticlimactic moment there.
I would say this was planned for entertainment value. Do you
James,
believe me?
Wow.
No.
No.
I see, M, your response to that momentary fail is that you seem to have sped up a little bit. There seems a bit of an urgency there. How are you doing?
Well, his cable management's not doing well, though, is it? Same rules apply to everyone, right?
Nope.
Still trying to mount my CPU liquid cooler.
Oh,
I'm gonna be stuck here forever at this point.
Oh, Mr. RGB has blown it on his cooler. I was not expecting that today. That is not at all what I thought was going to happen. I think we've got a top down of M there trying to... Which bit of the CPU cooler, M?
Just trying to get it mounted, really.
Oh,
but I swear I must have done something wrong. Like, there's no way this is right.
Right, Em, I don't want to be negative, but I'm probably going to have to agree with you when you say something's not gone quite right there.
Okay.
Something has probably gone wrong.
See, I do need thermal paste.
Now, Marcus is currently dealing with his RAM, and as we discussed, he's got to take out his CPU cooler fan to do so.
I mean, do you remember when I said to you, do not cable manage your PC, because what happens if you need to change something?
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
We'll come back to that in a moment, but for now, I want to pop up back to the mez. I want to see what Harry, our community corner host, thinks of this and what the chat is saying to Marcus's potential short-lived controversial victory.
Okay, so we had a lot of chats praying for the computer to please not post, as to give Cyanide and M a bit more of a chance. Cyanide's chat is also crying out for him to continue building the computer because he looks as though he's just given up completely upon seeing Marcus's build. Lots of positive comments about the sleek-looking graphics card as well. And despite the fact that it didn't post 100% successfully, they still think that the build looks incredible.
Cool. We're back. Sorry, it caught me off guard there, Harry. I'm just watching the scenes unfold. I really thought M might be able to pull this back. Marcus's error could have opened the door for an M-shaped victory. WM shape. Anyway, you get my point. The joke, that line did not work. Sai's out the running, I think. Where are we outside? What are we doing?
Well, the fans don't seem to think so, Si. They're all rooting for you.
Right.
They want you to
Now,
keep going.
Marcus, I know this was going to be a quick fix for you, but the monitor is in the way. Can you scooch that for us? Out of the way. Can you move that monitor out of the way for us? We can't see what's going on here, Marcus, and this could be...
You just told me to come around this side, then you tell me to come the other side. You didn't plan this through.
I'm feeling like you're passing the buck here, Marcus. I think the no comment says it all really there.
It's a disaster area. I'm not liking being ganged up on, really. It's like being back at school.
Hey, Marcus, if there's any consolation, I've got your back, mate.
I appreciate that. I really do. You're my favourite of the two.
Believe it or not, I'm not surprised to hear that.
look at F-Word making all the friends after about 8 hours today, really. I think that's kind of... talking at 8 hours, I think that's probably what Sai needs before he finishes, so...
He did say it was going to take 6 hours, didn't he?
Oh, Sai with the PC inflicted injury there. I am going to be astonished if any of this hardware goes home working from Sai's PC today. You know, I should emphasize PC building is a very consumer-friendly thing to do, but I think Sai is rewriting the rules potentially for comedic value over there.
Let's see if you know the answer to this, because I think you're on board. What is the most dangerous bit of building a PC? What bit do you cause harm to yourself
You
most
know,
often?
honestly, the most dangerous bit, I think, is trying to plug in the front panel cables when you've jumped the gun and already put the graphics card in, because you've got all the little pins and stuff, and it's not difficult, it's not dangerous, but if you're trying to get those front panel cables in a bit of a desperate push, it can hurt.
You can, yeah.
You can kind of twig your finger, it's not great.
Well, let me interject and say, for me, it would be specific power supply cables. The actual, like the end of the cable. Sometimes you push it in and you give yourself a little nick.
when you're holding that latch down to pop your CPU EPS power in, and it's game over then, really.
Yeah, I mean, we're talking paper cut level of damage here.
Oh, damn. Oh, man.
Oh dear,
But, you know,
that is not good.
what would you say is the worst place you could get a paper cut?
Oh,
Do you really want me to answer that?
I mean,
whoa.
You really want me to answer that? Or?
I've not been.
no, Si, don't answer.
No,
Don't
you
answer.
sure? Okay, cool. I'm just checking.
I'll be perfectly honest and upfront, and this isn't going to come as a surprise to anyone here or anyone watching at home. I've not necessarily been rooting for Marcus today, but after that comment, I quite like him to finish, really. So how are we looking, Marcus? Fill us in.
Do you want me to fill more time, or?
No, we're good, Marcus. We're great, mate.
How do you feel when I say filling time? Because every time it makes you uncomfortable, and I love it.
It's made me very uncomfortable because I think it's a mask, mate, for your poor cable management ability there.
I would agree.
What the?
So you fix your RAM.
Should I do a comedic drop?
No, please.
Whoa.
This is outrageous. Even M's having a giggle at that one.
I
And
admit I'm getting a little bit coffee now. All right.
just a little bit.
Right there, Si. What's going on?
I hooked one side of the cooler on, and then the other side's bracket snapped off.
Oh dear.
In a
no.
rather permanent way.
Oh.
Well, hang on. Whoa. What's happened
You got some
here?
permanent damage.
What if we broke?
The bracket may have broken a bit.
Let's see the damage.
Just a bit. That's come off.
Get the camera on now.
That's not supposed to do that. And I don't know where the screw for this has gone. So, it's kind of in there somewhere.
I've just got to add, we're not actually going to cut back to Harry up there, but Harry is losing her mind right now. She's in absolute creases. Size complete and utter. Absolutely major mistake,
Okay,
really.
look, it could be going better just a bit, but that's the swings and roundabouts. That's life. Okay.
So Marcus is now plugging in for anyone who somehow can't see.
I'm just surprised you didn't say the classic presenter line there of, we couldn't have written this script.
There was no script.
Well, I know, that's what I mean, you couldn't have written it. No,
Marcus is plugging in his PC back into that AOC 165 Hz Aegon monitor. Sadly today we're not going to really take
I hope
advantage.
he goes a bit easier on it going in this
Well,
time.
that refresh rate. He's struggling to get the power in. That's a rookie error. There we go. He's done it. Your monitor's not quite
As I
straight.
say, next time I'm going to enjoy when you're this side. And then,
That's a bold assumption to make, Mr. Cole, right there.
Then I can come out with a spiel.
So let's get that power cable on your PC plugged in. Otherwise, we're
Wait,
not
do
going to
you not want me to
booting.
go, why is it not working? Oh, you know what I haven't done? I haven't plugged the power cable in.
This is outrageous. How long's this been going on for? This is just unbelievable.
Definitely a bit
Right.
over time.
We are now, I think, a matter of seconds away, though, from Marcus. I don't want to, call this victory too hard, but winning the inaugural Silicon
I'll tell you what,
Challenge.
last time you wanted a big countdown. Do you want to do it properly this time?
We can.
Let's do it.
All right, let's do a
this
proper
time.
countdown.
10.
9.
Oh my goodness.
Oh no.
Failed as well. Yes, it's failed. That was
Yeah,
karma
that wasn't
there.
too good.
Fans are on. Flashing's done.
Oh,
Here we go.
here we go. Here we
Matter
go.
of seconds away now.
For real though, I really do love the look of that graphics card. It
I
looks
like the
pretty-
addressable
pretty
RGB. That's
sweet.
something we don't often see on a GPU in that kind of far-fetched fashion.
Well, I just mean some of the competitors.
Here we go.
to this
Oh.
card
Oh, that looks good.
look
He's in
a
his
little bit overdone.
BIOS. Wow.
There we go.
So we've got CPU clocks running, perfectly okay there. We could do with upping the RAM speed a bit, but I think
Now keep talking.
as
Go on.
far as Silicon Challenge goes,
Yep.
I think that
16 gig of
might
RAM.
be the one, the only W of today, apart from the Minecraft influencers. They've done a fantastic job.
Amazing.
And I think the Silicon Challenge crown might be firmly in PC Centric's court.
I agree.
Hey,
Congratulations
look
again.
at that.
Centric market. He's taking it.
That is quite the victory. He's taken us on a roller coaster ride over the last kind of 30, 40 minutes, an hour 40 we've been going. That's not a bad effort though. An hour 40, PC end to end, his RGB's on, his cables are in. There's
I'm happy with
the
that.
fan connections come loose, but apart from that, I hate to say it, but I think he might have dethroned the king of RGB himself with that effort. It's been fantastic having you, mate, but I think Marcus might have edged that one very slightly. How are you feeling, Si? I'll come to the winner in just a second, but
I'm feeling good. The hardware is feeling less good, but
I'd gathered that. I think we'll kind of jump over that. How are you quickly, mate? How are we going?
I must say, the liquid cooler
got the
is
cooler in!
Oh,
finally
he got
on.
the
Yes!
liquid cooler in.
I
think-
can't believe it took me
So
so
what
long.
was it that went wrong with the cooler?
The brackets? So he's trying to screw them on. I don't know. Like, we're
Right, Mark-
Do you want me to
Marcus,
yeah.
Marcus, we're going to bring you around to the front. Your monitor's in the way. If you want to
Oh,
come
okay.
and stand on the island of Silicon Challenge, how are you feeling after that win? I think it was quite well predicted. You've taken it not quite like a dignified winner, but nevertheless on merit.
Honestly, I'm trying to be dignified, I promise. I'm trying my best.
You've got to try harder, mate.
Can I just say, though, with the cooler, if
Yeah.
you do get, like, genuinely, I think it's a really good cooler, but there is a little bit of a tricky bit with installation. When you put the bracket on, like you're doing there, you've got to screw from the underside up, and it's
is
not
how it
really
was
that
then.
obvious.
Yeah, this is. It's not the fault of the cooler. It's kind of my fault for not reading the manual.
manual,
and then
yeah.
just sort of smashing it together until it's sort of stuck.
So the takeaway today then from the inaugural
manual.
Silicon Challenge is read the manual, read the documentation that comes included, and on
Don't
that
smash
note,
stuff together, right?
smash stuff together. And on that note, I think there's only really one thing to do before we jump into some of the final VTs of the day, and that's to provide a huge thank you to lots and lots of people out there. Thank you to Harry up in Community Corner. Woo! Come on, guys, let's have a bit of applause. Okay, no, that was. There we go. Look at this.
Thank you, Harry.
We of course have our wonderful contestants. We've got Si in third place. I think that's a fair assessment. Em in second. Marcus taking the one, the only W. We, of course, have all of you lot at home. You're all winners in my book. Thank you very much for tuning in. We really do appreciate it. And a big thanks to Femi, a.k.a. F-Word, for standing by me today, picking up my errors and co-hosting the inaugural Silicon Challenge.
And James, please don't forget to thank yourself for putting this together, my man. This
for real,
has been
James,
one hell of
honestly,
an experience. Well
great
done,
gig,
buddy.
mate. Well, you've done well.
Cheers, guys. Thank you to everyone
Marcus
upstairs as well in the gallery for making this happen. And a big sponsor thank you as well from Steve up there at Cooler Master. What a legend. Of course, the show brought to you today by Zotac Gaming and NVIDIA GeForce RTX. Get your game on with ray tracing, with DLSS, with all that fun stuff, and check out their pages as well. A big thanks to AOC for these 165Hz panels, and to Cooler Master for our case, our power supply, and our cooler, which proved infamous in the initial Silicon Challenge. Thank you very much for watching. Enjoy the outro, VTs, and as always, we'll see you in the next one.
Subscribe to PC Centric.
We all know how important frame rates and reaction times are.